I want to go ahead and do a recap on the progress of this channel, man, and give everybody that participated. I guess I can't give you a round of applause because I'm holding this phone, but I want to definitely give you my kudos for helping out and making this channel a success. We was able to invest about like over, through fundraising and stuff like that. We was able to generate over $300,000 in music. So now we're moving on into television and media and a few other things that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But what I want to talk about is that I actually had a lot of money in I'll just say in herbs, different types of herbs. Some of these herbs were banned according to the government, but of course, me being a Native American, I'm able to go around a lot of bans, through just using a lot of my own resources as insurance. So I was able to go around a lot of those bans and things like that. But I had a lot of money in herbs, and what's happening now is that I moved a lot of that money into energy shares. And my prediction is that because of the season and because of what we're getting ready to go into and dealing with this, I guess you can call this new shift, the energy market is going to change. It may go up, it may go down, but what I'm doing is that I'm gonna move a lot of my resources into food and into I guess you could say building up a better stock when it comes to the commodity of the human body and really monetizing off of the human body. What I mean by that is that you got to think. I'm gonna put it like this: it's not promoting slavery. It's actually taking back your own. What I'm about to say is not promoting slavery. It's actually taking back your own resources and beginning to monetize with them to where you can actually enslave yourself, for lack of a better word, and actually make more money than if you were working a job off of your own so-called slavery. Is what happens or whatever. So you got to think about it like this. And I don't want to use the term slave. I'm just using that for a lack of a better word. You're not a slave. But what I mean by that is that you're employing yourself, but you're not employing yourself just like a business person who has an ID, who goes and gets a corporation or a 501c3 status or some form of LLC, and then they go incorporate. See, you don't get to that step. That's a step, but you don't go to that step first. What you would do is that you have to take back everything on a personal level that your name is tied in with the matrix, and essentially enslave your straw man. So that's what you're doing. You're enslaving your straw man and making that work for you. And if you do that, the average person straw man is worth over $1 million. So even just in 1% interest, if you was to generate 1% interest a year off of $1 million, that's like $10,000 a year just off interest, off of your own straw man. So you got to think, it's a lot of money in this, because you got to think, how much would you pay for a German Shepherd? How much would you pay for a poodle, for instance? A lot of money. Some people pay, whatever. I don't know what's a lot to you, but hundreds, thousands of dollars for animals. You got to think they got monkeys and stuff out here that's worth over $100,000 that people would be willing to pay $100,000. The zoos and different zoos would pay $100,000, maybe even $1 million on certain monkeys and animals and things of that nature. And you may say, well, what the hell does this got to do with sovereignty? But what I'm explaining is that the animal and the monkey has a nationality, and this is why they have to pay top dollar to buy these dogs and these animals. You notice, top dollar just to get a dog. You probably spend more money getting a dog than you will bringing a child into this world. Why? Because of the nationality and the paperwork tied into a dog. And what I decided to do, through the course of course, a lot of meditation, is that I decided to take back everything that my name was tied in with the matrix and begin to monetize off that, and it started to work for me to where now I could promote myself as, I guess you could call it like a human animal, meaning that I'm not an animal and I'm not a slave and I'm not a beast, but I'm saying essentially, if you look at an animal has more freedom and rights than your average human. An animal is generating more money and more profit than your actual average human. So the goal is that you have to learn how to take your animal side, which is everything about your body. So you are an animal. You sweat. You do everything that an animal does. You have to learn how to monetize off that. and make money off of that and turn that into an industry. And there's several ways to do that. And that's what I started learning how to do, and it became interesting or whatever. So I'm moving into, to make a long story short, and I'll go ahead and shut this video down. I'm gonna go ahead and move a lot of my investments into food and things of that nature, and herbs and things of that nature, because I believe that the food industry in general is about to generate a lot of money. I do believe that the food industry in general is going to generate a lot of money just off of people becoming more independent, people taking back what's theirs, people beginning to buy more land, people beginning to produce more off of their land, to where I think that monetizing with the food industry is the best way to avoid any type of stock market crashes and dilemmas dealing with the stock market. Because you got to think about it, you own your own land, you control your own commodities, so no matter where the stocks are at, you can adjust your prices off of what you grow from off of your land, and continue to sell that and make a profit off of that, all off of your mind, all off of starting from nothing and building up. So what I'm saying is that you don't have to, in this modern day and time, you don't have to be a farmer, where I'm getting at, to make money off of land. See, a lot of people, they're mistaken. They think you got to be a farmer or some form of working with your hands, or a construction worker, or some form of a builder. You have to build your own house if you're talking about being independent and living off the land, when that's not true. The first step in living off the land is to take back everything that you are monetizing with personally in dealing with land. I mean, we talking about, where do you use the bathroom at? How many times do you use the bathroom? We're talking about bowel movements. I mean, this is going into medical and health and things of that nature. So you have to take all of that back, because every time you do that, you're sharing. Say, for instance, you're at work and you're like, well, I'm going to go use the restroom. They may have made more money off of you going to use the restroom that one time at work than they did off of you sitting at that computer typing or doing whatever you do at work, for females that work or whatever. So this is what I'm talking about. You have to take back all of that. Take back full control, to where you control everything about your body. And then from there, you will begin to re-enslave your straw man, or take it out of slavery, or free it up. But eventually you have to look at it as re-enslaving it, because it's a lot of hard work. That's why I call it re-enslaving it, because you're going to bust your ass like you was working for somebody to take back your straw man. You got to believe that. You're going to work harder than working for somebody to take back your straw man. You may make more money certain days, you may make less money, but you're going to work hard. So the goal is to free yourself up from the physical part, or whatever your body's connected to in land, and begin to monetize off of all of that and make money off of everything that comes out your body, the sweat, the bowel movements. I'm serious. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm keeping it real. The clothes that you wear, anything that touches your body, every time you have sex, every time you don't have sex, whatever you're doing with your body, learn to make a profit from it. Add it up at the end of the year, and once you take full control of it, I guarantee you will be making more money than you were making at the average job. So that's the first step. Then you take back your paperwork. You begin to insure yourself. You form your own insurance companies. There's ways to do this. All on your own. You figure you can do all of this, believe it or not, on your own. You don't need a business partner or anything like that. So now you've taken back your paperwork. You're totally a private entity. You control your identification. Now you can begin to work with the state and begin to form LLCs and things of that nature, and begin to form corporations and companies. So this is how it works. I think this is the new business model, believe it or not, that I'm promoting. It's been working for me. I just wanted to send a shout out to everybody that helped out. We have a lot of helpers here locally, as well as internationally and nationally. I'm going to keep, putting out the information, doing the videos, man. So, as always, keep an open mind. Never get caught up into none of these snares and traps that you see. And I'm going to say this too before I shut down. Always remember that even when you think you're trapped, there's a way out. There's always an option and a way out. You're never trapped. So have a good day.